Learn how this refers to the object that is calling a method. This is a keyword in JavaScript that points to the object that is currently using the function. So in this example, we want to examine and look at how you can use this inside an object method to return values. So let's look at this together. In my script style, here are some comments that specify the step that we need to take to make this example. The first one says create object person, add properties, add method full name. Step 4, use this inside the method, then copy the method and then display result. So let's go ahead and follow this step. The first step is to create objects with a name person. So I'll go ahead and make a person object. Person. And then it will have properties or first name. Which I'm going to call Adrian. Last name, I'm going to call it Brick. Then I want to add age and call it 24. Also add eye color. Let me call this blue. And I also want to add an ID, just a random thing. And finally, I want to add a method called full name. Now, look at what we have here in the step. Create object person, add properties, first name, last name. So I've added like 5 properties. Then add method full name. So the name of our method is full name, and that is what I want to add here. And how do you add method? So you just add a function in order to make the method, and inside it, use this inside the method. So inside method, I want this to basically return the first name space and then this dot last name. So this is basically what I just want the method to return. Now, outside of this, you can see this part, this call person dot full name and display result. So let's go under this and then display data from our objects. So how do you display data? Well, I'll lean on document.get element by ID dot inner html equals to. So what do you think is going to be there? What do you think I'm going to add after the document.get element by ID? Well, in your mind, let me see what you can come up with. What are you guessing? In 2 seconds, just think about what you think we are going to do in order to display data. Okay, well, so let's continue. Now, we've already created a person object here, and we've already added a method that we define inside this object. And inside that method is where we are using the this keyword itself in order to access the first name and last name that belongs to that person's object. Now, the purpose of this is that we want the full name method in order to return our full name and then display the result. So basically, inside this place, the this keyword refers to this calling object itself. So it's not just peculiar to the first name or the last name, which happens to be the values inside the object. But this keyword itself is referring to the object and the calling object here. Now, the method that we have here belongs to the object because we have that method inside the object. And this keyword then can access the object data. As you can see, this dot first name plus last name. So we are using it to access the object data. So here, the full name is a method inside the person's object when we call person dot full name, which is the method, and then it refers to person. So because this keyword refers to person, that is the reason why it can access the first name and the last name. So this is the object before the dot. That is what we need to first call before we use the dot notation to access the values or the property of the element. So this connect function to the object that calls them. That is basically what this is doing. It connects this function to the object that call them. So let's go ahead and then call our object. So the first thing to do is to call the name of the object, and using dot notation, then we can access the method that we have inside that object. And if you look at my screen, well, nothing is happening actually. Let me check what the problem could be inside the console. Blue is not divine. Yeah, that is correct. This is a string and it requires quotes, not the way I left it without quotes around it. And you can see this Adrian brick. So this is how you call the function. That is how you call the method inside a function. So you first call the object name and then you pass in the method inside that function to the object, and then it will give you result. So with this keyword, you can see that we were able to access the properties or the elements of what we have inside our object. So if I want the age, I can as well do this dot age, and then this will work. You can see it. Adrian is 24. Adrian is, I need to add space first. Adrian is another space 24 years of age. You can see this Adrian Brick is 24 years of age. So what we're basically doing here is that we try to understand this keyword, because understanding this is key to working with objects, method, and dynamic behavior in JavaScript.